If you ask a standard 12-volt battery system to push a 3,000-watt load, you are pushing it to the edge of its physical limits. When these systems collapse under that demand, most people assume the battery is the weakest link, or they assume the copper cables themselves will simply overheat and melt down the center of the run. The reality is entirely different. Breakdowns almost exclusively start at the mechanical joints, the terminal lugs, the cable crimps, and the fuse holders. Upgrading to a thicker gauge of copper wire does not solve this. A massive cable will not protect a weak connection. Pushing high wattage through low-voltage architectures creates structural instability at every single physical junction in the circuit. Every component in this setup is part of a predictable thermodynamic chain reaction. This thermal imaging overlay of a standard setup shows the battery and the center of the cable remaining cool purple. But the metal terminal connecting them is glowing stark white hot. Analyzing this localized thermal footprint reveals exactly why pushing a standard 12-volt architecture to these power levels becomes physically dangerous. To understand the heat, we have to calculate the work being done. A 3,000-watt inverter requires a massive volume of electrical flow to operate. We calculate flow using the power equation. Power equals voltage times current. To find the current, we divide 3,000 watts by 12 volts, giving an ideal demand of 250 amps. Factoring in real-world conversion losses, that continuous requirement climbs to 280 amps. For context, a heavy-duty breaker in your home electrical panel typically trips at just 20 or 30 amps. Forcing nearly 10 times that volume through a 12-volt DC circuit creates immense physical friction throughout the entire path. That extreme baseline volume of current leaves the entire system hyper-vulnerable to even microscopic points of physical resistance. That physical friction translates directly into temperature. This mechanism is defined by the formula for resistive heating, the I²R law. The critical variable is current, I, which is squared. Thus, heat doesn't scale cleanly. Doubling current quadruples heat. Plotting our 250 amp baseline on this curve shows heat potential spiking aggressively. At these amperage levels, the system is no longer operating in a linear, predictable state. It exists in an exponential penalty zone. Because of this mathematical relationship, high-current DC systems are destined to magnify the smallest physical flaws into catastrophic heat. Those physical flaws are built into the hardware itself. Look closely at the mechanical joints, where pure copper cable is cut and clamped inside a metal lug. A crimp isn't a perfect bond. Microscopically, air gaps and uneven contacts exist. Additionally, invisible oxidation on the lug acts as a physical barrier to electrical flow. Low-quality fuse holders introduce these exact same microscopic resistance zones internally, hidden inside their plastic casings. While pure copper wire allows smooth flow, these irregular mechanical joints force that massive 280 amp current to squeeze through a physical bottleneck. The physical resistance of the worst mechanical connection defines the safety threshold for the entire system. The failure sequence starts the moment that sustained current collides with the elevated resistance of the terminal bottleneck. Fighting through that bottleneck forces an immediate, localized spike in temperature right at the joint. This triggers a fatal physical reaction. As terminal temperature rises, its internal electrical resistance also increases. That elevated resistance fights incoming current, generating an even larger spike in heat. This cycle accelerates rapidly, feeding on itself over minutes or hours. In thermodynamics, this specific self-feeding loop is defined as thermal runaway. The immediate physical consequence is severe. The intense, localized heat begins to soften and warp the protective wire insulation surrounding the joint. Once that insulation deforms, the exposed metal presents an immediate risk of a partial short circuit, even if the primary copper strands remain intact. Once thermal runaway takes hold, the system actively and automatically destroys its own capacity to safely carry electrical flow. Mitigating the extreme demands of a 3,000-watt load requires an architectural solution rather than applying hardware band-aids. Let's compare a 12-volt and 48-volt architecture, both drawing a 3,000-watt load. Quadrupling the voltage slashes the current to 62.5 amps. Run both through the I²R heat penalty. The 12-volt system generates a massive thermal spike. The 48-volt side barely registers. By utilizing a higher voltage, the system mathematically neutralizes the I²R penalty because it eliminates the high current that drives exponential heat in the first place. On a 48-volt system, those exact same microscopic imperfections inside a terminal lug will produce virtually zero thermal threat. Migrating away from 12-volt designs at high wattages is a structural necessity to bypass the strict boundaries of physics. Pushing into high-current off-grid engineering introduces hidden physical dangers that cannot be ignored. Adding thicker copper cables is largely a placebo if the mechanical joints remain poorly executed. Strict physical controls are mandatory. You must apply proper torque, utilize high-quality fusing, and ensure every crimp is pristine. Successful high-wattage engineering is fundamentally an exercise in heat management.